Hello everyone to the Wonder of Star Wars The Old Republic episode number 35. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, this is a series where I play Javiik, my Sith Inquisitor on the Imperial faction, and today we are going to be going Datacron hunting. So if you would rather go back to the very beginning, episode number 0, I removed the videos from my channel as I play, so just check in the description and there will be a link to the entire series there. The playlist is where you begin. For those of you who are rejoining back, welcome back everybody. Hi, nice to see you. I am very excited because number one, I figured out why my last video was stuttering. Some settings got reset that were not supposed to be reset. And I also found the entrance to the next Datacron. It took me a good 20 minutes of backtracking, both my husband and my brother-in-law laughing in the background as Javiik goes at about the speed of slow on his level 1 speeder, but we got here and we're on the right track to be getting the Datacrons of Nar Shaddaa. So, oh, what's this? Oh, this is nothing interesting. So, today's episode, we're just gonna go and get all of the Datacrons here. We already found a couple really cool ones and the entrances to some others in the last episode, and today we are gonna catch them all. So this one was quite hard to get to on the Imperial side. It's really meant to be more focused for Republic players, but it's accessible to Imperial players too. It is in the Shadowtown Network Access area. It's the one, well, if you've gotten this one, it's pretty recognizable, I would say. It's the Incinerator Room one. Oh my gosh! Let's see. Go, Javiik, go! Don't burn to death! Oh, okay, so this one's really interesting. The answer is, oh, I didn't look this up fast enough. Am I just gonna burn to death in the meantime? If so, that's okay. Yep, I'm gonna burn to death. Ah, lame. So this one has a really interesting code that I did not write down before I got here, but I probably should have. I found a new guide site that I was very excited about. It's called SWTOR-hollow.net, and once again, can I still click this? Oh, don't tell me I have to go all the way back, if so I might just cry. Oh no, we're not too far. So let me actually look up a different guide. So this is very interesting. As you saw, there was a bunch of little codes that you could have chosen from, and there's in-game no real way to know what code you actually need to choose. SWTOR Spy, Nar Shaddaa, Datacrons. Let's find that guy because I know the code was there. And I thought it was very cool what code is actually the correct answer, because it's a very lore-invested answer, and I'm very surprised to have seen it made its way into Star Wars The Old Republic. So this one is it's the cunning one. It used to be cunning, it's not cunning anymore. So the answer to that is 326 3827, second on the list. And this is what SWTOR Spy says about it that I thought was very interesting. This is the exact unit number of the maintenance hatch in the garbage room on Death Star 1, A New Hope. So very cool that someone figured that out. I imagine when people were trying to get it the first times people were trying to make guides, they just kind of guessed and checked and hoped for the best. Okay, so I did spend a ton of time originally trying to get here. I wanted to save you guys the trip because you saw how much I got lost last episode. That was kind of a minor disaster where we ended at that casino slot machine thing, but I needed to have gotten this Datacron first before I could have progressed any further. But we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. So what has been going on in Star Wars The Old Republic news, as I try to make sure I don't get lost, because that would be... and I got lost. Let's get back in those tunnels. there has been a lot of interesting news for PvP. As I've mentioned in some of my other videos, they are going to be focusing on PvP over the summer. There's going to be some really cool updates, including the Rishi Stronghold that's going to be PvP focused, going to be some updates and changes to both war zones and to PvP in general. Just very cool, very excited for it in general. And what the developers released recently is a list of proposed changes to the war zones. Now what's very interesting is the intentions behind these changes. So why is there an invisible wall there? I had trouble with that earlier too. That one was just me falling off. So what their intentions behind the changes are, they want to, 1, make matches more fun by making them shorter, keeping them at a certain length. I think the answer was between 6 and 12 minutes. Okay, wait, before we go in this incinerator, I'm gonna pull out my handy dandy guide so I don't pick the wrong one again. Okay, 3:26, 38:27. Javiik, don't burst in flames this time. Go, 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 go! 3:26. 38:27. Oh, baby. Okay. Hey, here's the Datacron. Very nice. So they want to make the matches have a more kind of consistent length. Some of them can go for a really long time. They can, if they get into like a stalemate, and they want matches to pop faster, and they want people to go through them and actually not just play 40-minute long games. Not that any of them are quite that long. So some of the ones that it's there. Okay, we're gonna get something from this machine. You found a slot decoder. Awesome. Now we can actually go do that other one. So the ones that are getting changes are Void Star, Ancient Hypergates, Alderaan, and Yavin. Let's get out of here. Ah! This is such a cool little tunnel. I always have loved these types of areas on Nar Shaddaa where you've just got the dark tunnel. It's just a bit of circuitry. It's the only thing providing any light. If you've ever been to Disneyland, this area really reminds me of the Hyperspace Mountain roller coaster ride. That ride is one of my favorite. That's #1 favorite ride in that entire park. Alright, so let's go to our next handy dandy Datacron. We'll go grab next the yellow matrix shard, and this is the one we started yesterday, but I don't actually remember how to get there. So this other guide that I found, this SWTOR-hollow.net one, actually has written instructions on how to get to the specific areas. So to get to the network security district and high security lockdown areas, you need to go to the upper industrial sector and go to the Republic Research Division, and I think we're close to that now. Network security, there we go. Once inside, get network security. The entrance to high security lockdown is in the south side of the network security district. See, that is exactly the kind of instructions that I appreciate in my life. I am not the best with maps, and the maps aren't helpful if they're only showing from the Republic side of things, so this site, although it's probably like 5 years out of date, gets my A-OK, A+ rating. So apart from trying to make the PvP, the player versus player maps, roughly the same length and not too long. Let's see, this is the right one. High security lockdown. Okay, we're going the right way, awesome. They also wanted to stop many exploits that happen in the game. Now, there are lots of different ways to exploit the game. In general, what an exploit is taking advantage of the game in a way that it's very obviously not meant to be taken advantage of. For example, sometimes you can buy crafting materials on the GTN for less than you can sell them to a vendor and you can make a profit. That's not an exploit. The game is, you're just being kind of savvy with business. Somehow managing to buy thousands of items for free, that's clearly an exploit. The game was never meant to be used in that way. Other popular exploits in the past included finding ways to skip entire bosses and operations that were never meant to be skipped. Ways to teleport around in war zones to your advantage is the big one they're trying to fix. Some of these exploits, they're just taking advantage of new things in the game or new ideas in the game that the developers haven't really fixed yet. or by altering the actual game's files. They always will try to stop and catch these and change it so the game won't function for you if you do this, but people will always find a way to alter them. The good news is they can provide some fixes so that if you do alter the game, you will be in a heap of trouble. What some of the changes that they're making for PvP is that if you alter the game, that lets you teleport to the objectives before the match even really starts. You will insta-die. That's very cool, I think. Okay, we're going to high security lockdown. And I went too far. That was silly. See what other kind of changes they're making there. I haven't taken a really good look because PvP is not really my thing. I'm in general very excited that they're addressing some of the exploit problems, because I know many of you who PvP, this is a pet peeve of yours, having to deal with other players who just straight up aren't following the rules. It's bad enough to get your furry butt kicked on your own self without having any exploits involved, but it really rubs your face in the dirt, I imagine, if someone cheats to win in the first place. So that's cool that they're addressing that, and what I do like about this is they're also bringing these changes to the community first. They're saying, this is what we think we're gonna do. Do you guys have any reason why we shouldn't? And if a lot of people say you shouldn't do this specific action, it won't work well, we play the game every day, we know, then that's awesome. That means they probably won't make it, or they'll adjust it in some way that makes it happen more sensibly. So far, I haven't read every single comment, but people seem in general excited that they're looking into the changes. I have seen some worries about the exact timings of some of the mechanics in the Warzone, so if you play PvP, you might want to go chime in on that. Other people have just been, yeah, this is great, do it. On my case, I'm just like, yay, they're looking into it. Yay, love for PvP. Even though it's not my thing, I'm happy they're showing it some attention, because it definitely needed some, in my opinion. It's not the most... most players play for story and they play quietly, they don't even play with others, but apart from, I'd say, like operations and flashpoints combined, PvP is probably the third most participated in activity in the game. I don't have any numbers, I'm just guessing, but if BioWare decided to show it some love, then they clearly feel that there's enough people playing to make it worth it. Oh, I am in high security lockdown. Okay, we're in vaguely the right location. Let me get that handy dandy map out. Okie dokie. On the south side. Oh, so we're in here, and it's going to be wish I was better at maps. Really not my thing. I need one of those like big giant screens just to put the Datacron maps up on, because I can only see a tiny bit at a time. Well, this one really looks like it's actually on a different part of the map, but I'm trying to remember where we went last time. Because wherever we went last time, that was the correct way to go. So I know where the end of the Datacron is, I just don't know quite where the beginning of it is, which is a little more important to me. So here's some of the changes. So, right, they want war zones to be around 12 minutes and not longer than that. Longer than that is just too long, they think, for it to be fun. And the second one was to fix any environment hacking and exploits that people might be taking advantage of. Of course, people will find new ones over time, but for now, these are the most prominent ones that are driving people crazy. So, SWTOR. They want to give offense a much better chance of completing the objectives. Oh, is this the right room? That would be nice if it is. Seems kind of like where it shows on the map here. Says it's right in this little gap right here. Oh, it's up there. I see. It's up on this platform right up here. We just gotta backtrack some to figure out how to get up there to start with. Come on, Kimball! We're going on an adventure. And we're totally gonna go the right way, Kimball. It looks like you might be able to get to it from over here. So we want to make WONDERTALK more about a race to complete the objectives as opposed to a map which often ends in a stalemate. Less stalemates will shorten the overall time of the map. More Datacrons will increase the time of the map. Oh yes, here we go. Yes, this is where we were last time. Perfect. So here's what else has happened with WONDERTALK. The door will now take 6 seconds to arm, down from 8. Defenders now have 15 seconds to disarm the door bombs, down from 20. Oh, it's over here, right? Yes, it is. We'll just drag every single mob that comes up. Oh, I don't have Kimball healing me! Oh dear. Let's zap him. Zap him before he can zap me. Kimball. Let's just see if Kimball will run over here. Come here, Kimball.
I'm unfollow.
If they shoot me though, I'm pretty much dead. Need to heal. Run, Javiik! Run for your life! Oh no, they're- oh, there we go. Okay, it's okay. So, extending the bridges and lowering the shields now takes 6 seconds to channel, down from 8. So in general, a lot of the different mechanics in the Warzone are getting shortened by a few seconds, but sometimes a few seconds can make a huge difference, especially when it comes to interrupts, when it comes to people respawning in the Warzone and being able to go interrupt other people just with their normal abilities by just existing instead of being locked behind a door. Force fields are now blocking the reactor room doors until the bridges are extended. So I assume that's to stop people doing the teleport hacking. I could be wrong. Characters who hack their way into the last 2 rooms of the Warzone before the bridge has been extended or the force field is down will be killed. That's the one that's definitely trying to fix people exploiting the actual game files and... Oh, I made it. Hang on. Yes! See, I learned from last time. I'm looking forward to seeing people who didn't read the patch notes continue doing that and getting themselves auto-killed. I will find that very funny. I have a feeling they will find it quite funny too. I would be amused as heck if a developer put in a bug fix specifically for me being a pain in the you-know-what. Okay, so I did something. Oh, it opened it! Hey, there we go. Nice. That was a bit anticlimactic. It's okay. It's okay. Alright. So now we're gonna head over to some of those Empire-only Datacrons. This one is in the Corellian sector. I wonder if I can just QT over there. Save me a little time. Oh, Galactic History. Here we go. Although the Quarren and Mon Calamari both evolved in the watery world of Dak, it was millennia before the 2 species encountered each other. Unfortunately, initial contact went badly, and the Quarren declared war. The Mon Calamari had a technological and intellectual advantage, but the Quarren repeatedly refused any overtures of peace. Eventually, the Quarren were driven to near extinction. But the Mon Calamari had no wish to exterminate their cousins. In a bold social experiment, the Mon Calamari took young Quarren into their society and taught them civilization, mathematics, and the sciences. When these young Quarren returned to their people, they had nothing in common with their primitive fellows, within 20 years that had become the dominant force in Quarren society and eventually sought peace with the Mon Calamari. Well, that is certainly a way to make peace. That's not the usual way, but certainly a way to do it. I didn't know that little piece of lore. That's very interesting. We don't run into many Quarren or Mon Calamari at all in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Okay, we are going to quick travel and Datacron it up. We're going to the Corellia district, wherever that may be. Oh, here we go. And where's that? And it's going to be somewhere around here. So let's take a look at those PvP changes some more. So that's what they're going to do for Void Star. The next one is Ancient Hypergates, one of the, not one of the newest war zones, but not one of the oldest either. We want running orbs to be more impactful to the war zone's gameplay with the goal of shortening each map. Once again, make things shorter. Orbs now score more points, up from 6. Orbs score ramp up each round of the game. Round 1 they'll be 12, round 2 they'll be 15, round 3 they will be 18, round 4 21, round 5 24, round 6 plus 27 points for orbs. So I don't remember exactly how much they were worth before, but they sure as heck were not worth that much, to the point that players would often suggest don't really worry too much about the orbs, like grab them if you can, but don't make any focus on them. This could really change the focus of the war zone, which is going to be interesting because the orbs are one of the two things that make this war zone particularly interesting. From what I remember, the other one is the way when you kill another player, points are scored, and they're scored differently per round, if I remember right too. So, in the other war zones, it's more about the objectives, and obviously the more of your people that die, the harder it is to meet your objectives. But in Ancient Hypergates, it's a direct point score that you get if you kill people. I don't know exactly where this one is, so I'm just gonna poke around until I find it. And by poke around, I mean accidentally aggravate every single enemy in the vicinity. So here's the last one for Ancient Hypergates. Player corral force fields have had their uptime reduced. Force field is now down for 10 seconds and up for 15 seconds, previously 30 seconds. So the good news for this one is that when you die in Ancient Hypergates, the war zone, you will be able to go play more. You won't have to sit in the dead people's area for as much time as you used to have to. Darn it! This Datacron map was not useful to me at all. There's no way to get up there. It looks like it's really up high, so maybe I can see it if I look up. This is such a cool glowy area. Yep, way up there. Can you see it sparkling? Oh my gosh, how the heck do you get up there? Oh, it looks like this thing's floating around. Don't tell me I have to wait for it to come by. That would be very boring. Where the heck does this one start then? Okay, I'm gonna go back to my map. First, go to an area with shelves. It is -3792. 792 and -1668. So right around here. Okay, so I need to back up and look with my eyeballs. Around here somewhere? Doesn't look like it's right here. Just peeking around, looking for stuff to jump on. Kimbao says the knight is a shadow killer's ally. Thanks, Kimbao. Nice to remind me that you like to eat people in a stealthy kind of way. Because, you know, doing it outright, that would just be wrong. This Datacron's giving me some troubles. What else has been getting troubles is Alderaan, the war zone. I believe this one is called Civil War. Don't shoot me. I have not done war zones in quite a while. Oh, it looked like it was telling me to go here on the map and jump. It said jump on some boxes, but I need to find the boxes first. I'm gonna go look at a different map. Help me, SWTOR Spy. You're my only hope. Okay, we're apparently looking for shelves, not boxes. And oh, it's right. They were right around there. Let's give it another shot, I guess. See if something catches my eye once I get up there. Oh yeah, I forgot Kimball was being useless and doing nothing. Up, Javiik, up! Okay. Now that we've done this terribly hard jumping puzzle, do you guys see anything? Climb on the roof and wait for the kiosk to arrive. Are you for real? I just gotta like, you know, just wait. I just have to chill out? How slow does this thing go? I can't even figure out where it is now. I saw it rotating around earlier. Oh my lord. Okay, let's see if we can find it. If it's close. Well, I see it way up high. Unless it makes its way down, though, I'm not getting up on that thing. I think this is once again one Datacron I have never done, just because it's on the Imperial side. Oh, Javiik, come on. You need to be up there. What if the kiosk comes and we're not there, Javiik? Jumping puzzles. Yeah. I really like these shelves as decorations. I'm happy they eventually fixed them, but you could just get stuck in them non-stop. Okay, the little kiosk thing looks like it's kind of making its way down. The kiosk will pass right next to the roof, and it is an easy jump. It will take you to the ledge with the Datacron in about 5 minutes of travel time. So while we're waiting for this wonderful kiosk, let's go back to talking about what's going to happen in the Alderaan Warzone changes. And we'll watch that little kiosk make its way around. So the first time is going to be shortening the match time. The big one will be that the turret's now damage shifts for 12 damage per tick, up from 10, so it will take down those shields, I think, faster than it used to before. Number 2, characters exploiting by hacking inside of the capture terminals will now die when they do so. Haha. I've never seen that one, but I've heard of people doing that. They'll teleport themselves or otherwise get inside the thing that you click in the war zone, and then they can click it, but no one can attack them because they're technically hidden from view. So that's nice to have that fixed. Yavin. But I'm a little worried people maybe accidentally getting too close to it will trigger it, and that would be really lame if you auto-died by accident by running really close to it. Yavin for the newest Warzone, which is a reskin of Civil War, pretty much. But it's set on the Yavin 4. With all the forests and temple ruins and stuff like that. I actually have not even tried this one yet. Further differentiating the map from Alderaan Civil War, along with shortening the match time. Teams now start with 500 points, down from 600. I hear some chaos going around. Ah, this thing is so slow. Okay. When players die, they reduce their team's score by 2, up from 0. Characters exploiting up by hacking inside of the capture terminals will now die when they do so. That is one I have seen people a little worried about. This specifically, when players die, they reduce their team's score by 2, up from 0. So before, if you died, there wasn't an issue. But now, Yavin 4 will be another war zone that has a huge impact if you die. So it's kind of... it's good in terms of tactics because people will try to die less, which is always important. But the problem is it kind of makes bad players even worse. Because before, if you had a player who wasn't necessarily skilled, well, the worst they can do is not be good. But now they will actively hurt your team and get you less points just by existing. So I'm kind of interested to see how this one plays out. In the end, it might not matter too much because it's only 2 points, but it could also be really suck for new players. Or for veteran players who just want to not have negative points, of course, because you're always going to have at least 1 or 2 people in your war zone who maybe it's their first time. It's not really their fault. There's no easy way to learn PvP other than by jumping with both feet first right into it. Oh, something that happened, I think it was last week, over a weekend. Bunch of servers and tons of people were having login issues. They couldn't log into the game, or they'd get an infinite loading screen, or they couldn't connect to the servers, or I'm gonna be so mad if I get logged out for no activity. Many players were also not even able to log into the website, which was fairly interesting. What was especially interesting about it was that some players were having 0 issues. For example, I was working on videos and I was not having a care in the world, kind of wondering about why there was maybe a few more players than normal having technical issues, and other players were it was just impossible to even get into the game. I actually experienced that bug, which was interesting. First, I wasn't able to see the servers. It gave me some sort of error, but then I pressed OK and I was able to choose my server and get to my character screen, and then I clicked my character and it got an endless loading screen. Restarted, and the 3rd time around I was actually able to log in and play. So, okay, it's coming. The kiosk, the chosen one. Okay. Woohoo! Yay. And we shall now make our slow journey to the promised land. It's all the way over here. Ah! Once, a long time ago on my trooper character, I was doing the Datacron on Tatooine that's similar to this. You have to ride something that moves, and it takes an even longer amount of time, and I was so cranky. For whatever reason, the game went into a loading screen, pushed me off the balloon, and I exploded on the ground, right, like just a few meters from the balloon after I've been waiting for it for like an hour. Let's see, for those other bits of news, there was some slot machine issues, but they are, as far as I know, now fixed. So the Nar Shaddaa nightlife gambling event is on for those of you who wanted to go check it out. When I did a video about it, if you want to check it, just Google Nar Shaddaa nightlife. I think nightlife should come up. What? No, leave me alone! Who's attacking me? I swear, if something pulls me down from here, I'm going to rage quit. I'm not even entirely sure what is attacking me. Oh, there we go. Let's see if I can get it. No, I can't reach it. All you can, Val. Good luck. Oh, you did it! Congratulations. Don't mind this Dark Lord of the Sith, just patrolling Nar Shaddaa. Alright, there was some explanation about the kills being worth points that the developers clarified on the dev tracker. I get most of my news from the dev tracker. It's when developers post on the official forums, and the URL is swtor.com/community/devtracker.php. I usually just Google SWTOR dev tracker and it comes up. And they said, just to set some context on kills being worth points, based on the way that it is balanced in the changes above, holding 2 points is absolutely the way you need to win. Example, if one team is holding 2 points, the other is holding 1 and trying to farm kills, the team with the 2 points will still win. Where's my Datacron? Oh, still over there. Making our way there. Kills being worth points will help accelerate the map and to differentiate it from Alderaan. It is not set up as a new strategy to win. Now, all this is based on current gameplay data from the Warzone. If these changes somehow dramatically shift how people play Yavin, then things could change. Again, based on our data, killing players is still not going to be a viable strategy to win this Warzone. Yay! So, I am a huge fan of the Warzones that have mechanics versus the Warzones that are just kill everybody and then you win. Kill everybody and you win actually requires more strategy than the other ones, but it also requires a lot more skill, because the way you kill other players faster is by being better at your class and have better teamwork with your group mates in the sense of using abilities at the right time. For example, you want to be guarding the right person exactly the right time, you want to be syncing up your damage towards one person, and all of these things obviously help in any type of Warzone, but they are so much more important when it comes to arenas, which are just the death matches, kill the other players. That's the only objective. What I like about the other types of Warzones, the ones that have more defined objectives, is that your actual skill as a PvPer obviously matters a lot. The more you can kill the other team, the better, but what seems to matter the most is teamwork and communication and battle strategy, like being at the right place at the right time, and that I have a lot more knack for than actual numbers and rotation and stuff like that. Like, I'm not horrible, okay? When you see me playing Javiik, or half the time you see me playing my trooper, I'm just screwing around, but I've never had as much interest in parsing and getting the perfect rotation and stuff like that, and some players do, so they're gonna really excel at arenas, and I'll just be happy being at the right place at the right time on the Civil War map. Oh, we are almost there. Please, we're gonna get there. Someone else asked about the changes to... Kim Val just fell to his death. Based on the current schedule, matchmaking changes and the above Warzone changes will happen at the same time. Details on the matchmaking changes will come in a future post. So people are very curious about how Warzone matchmaking will change. One of the changes they proposed is to make Warzones cross-faction, which means that hopefully players will get matches more often, which is always nice. It kind of breaks the lore of the game, but I'd much rather players be able to play together than to keep the lore status in check for Warzones specifically. Warzones are just meant to be really fun. They're not meant to be super lore appropriate or anything like that. Oh! Hey Kimval, what's up? I kind of wish I'd kept following the kiosk, because it's probably going somewhere interesting. Oh cool, so a couple of people were worried about in WOIDSTAR. There's this fun, silly little effect in the game, in the WOIDSTAR game, where you can jump across a gap that you maybe were never meant to be able to. It can only be done by certain classes and advanced classes, and it's quite silly and requires some skill of its own and timing. They said they're going to be keeping that. The exploit changes are not against that. They're specifically against players who are like exploiting the game by changing the game's files and teleporting. Alright. Alright. Oh my gosh. Finally got that Datacron. Let's go get the next one. I think we've only got one more to go. Okay, we got that one. I think we're missing this one, wherever it may be. The Empire presence. Oh, I love this. You used to not be able to check which Datacrons you were missing, and now it's very easy. Nar Shaddaa! Oh, we got them all. Okie dokie! Alright. So that, I think, we'll call it a night. And then, next episode, we will head on to the next planet. We just finished Nar Shaddaa. And I wonder what planet's up next. You guys know. See you later.